Hey my exiles, how are we doing? This is Mr. A2G and we are back playing some more Stormfall Saga of Survival with my new series, The New Exiles. How are we all doing, guys? Alright, so since we've left off, there's been a couple of things that we've done. So by now, at this point, you should be hovering roughly around about the same level as myself, anywhere between level 17 to level 20. So from where we left off, we looked at how or what the best things that you need to do to get yourselves ahead in regards to the workstation situation, and also what you should be doing with your chest from the beginning. So we sort of covered that off. So if you want, definitely go ahead and check out the previous video, which I'll link in one of the little card pop-ups that will come up in a moment, and that will give you that the video to that, so you guys can go through that. But what we're going to do today, guys, at this point in time, I think we're ready to take on the next zone. So we're going to go over to the forest and we'll check out that. All right, so what we're going to do first is I want to be a bit over prepared. So I've got some materials here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to craft on up some clothing. So we'll just get these guys up and running. We should have enough to get everything done. Now, I'm not going to bother with the 1-star attire. We're just going to go with the basics here for the minute. Okay, and that's pretty much everything. So basically you need about 17 flax linen, and that's probably the biggest thing that you're going to need out of this recipe. So just make sure you've got that on hand, and the best way to do that obviously is to craft it here at the loom, and the loom will get that all sorted for you. Alright guys, so I'm just going to drop off a couple of these things here before we get on out. Drop some of that off there, and ooh, looks like I've got quite a few things that I need to try and drop off, but that's fine. Get rid of the clay, put that there, and I'll put this in my miscellaneous for now. Alright, so guys, we're going to go over there and we will check it out. So recommendation early on, guys, if you want to start tackling harder zones, definitely go ahead and do that. But for now, the forest today is what we're going to check out. So with that in mind, I just want to make sure that you guys are, well, you know, informed to a point, so you guys, you know, what you need to attack the zone without sort of dying. That's basically what we're going to do and cover off today. So this will be my interpretation on it. Now look, I'm sure you can get by this zone without clothing and things like that. You may not even need the second tier level of clothing, so it's all up to you how you sort of want to attack it. I'm just doing this as a bit of an overview, a bit of a guide, so at least this way you guys are, you know, there's at least some footage and some gameplay as to what you need to do. So we're going to do the usual bits and pieces. So best thing to do is, if you've got any accessibility to ranged weapons like the sling at this point, definitely you want to use this as your primary weapon at the very least. Now if you are at level 20, I'll probably recommend the bow from thereafter, the longbow. That will be probably your next best bet with regards to that. So let's just try and clear out all the guys here. So as you can see, we're doing this quite easily. Now there are some spiders in this zone as well, so not the young spiders that we've seen in the rocky fields there, but these are full-grown spiders. So we're going to see them pretty soon once we sort of get stuck into it a little bit further. So again, as I probably would recommend to you guys, anything that you get from chests, barrels, all that sort of stuff, make sure you're grabbing everything that you can. So this way, especially in early in-game, these things may not seem as valuable as to what they might be a little bit later on, but as you sort of progress in the game, my recommendation on this is to try and grab everything early on, so you don't have to worry about doing it at a later stage, and that makes you sort of come back to these type of zones to try and grind them out. So as you can see, there's two big spiders here. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to get one of them to come over a little bit so we can just sort of do a 1v1 and try not to obviously get attacked. I mean, at this point it's not too bad, so we should be okay with this. And let's just get over a little bit closer. So if you can, you might be able to sort of have that ability to maneuver your way without getting hit. So we've already got that, perfect. Sometimes it is what it is, you may get attacked just that one time. With the little spiders, excuse me, sorry guys, you may not have that luxury, so you just got to be careful with that. So just bear that in mind. Again, this is where things like armor sort of comes into play, where you get less hit damage against you, and this way that you don't have to dip into your heals and start using them. So basically this is probably a good thing, that this is just my opinion on it. Again guys, for you, look, your playtime may differ from mine compared to what I'm doing here. So again, this is just something that I would encourage just to look at as an option. So at least this way, you sort of get a decent understanding and a rundown on how this all works. Okay, so for the most part, all the exciting stuff, we're just going to loot everything that we can. And obviously clear the zone. So these guys here, definitely want to keep those. All right, empty amulets, they will come in handy further down the line. That will allow you to, may as well just study that, craft the pyromancy's ring. So once you get to level 25, that's another good little weapon that you can use over and above the bow that we've got here. So if you sort of look at it, durability versus that, you can see it's already I'm already halfway, have the ability to craft it. To get these guys, you're going to have to go through places like the dungeon. These will drop in higher zones as well as as dungeons as well. You can get them through, or you can craft them at your little at your smelting kiln. And all right, let's just get this spider here. There we go. So arguably you can actually run through these zones without any sort of problem with a set of armor. If you've got a sling star, 1 star, that'll be even better. If not, don't stress. You can still get by in the zone with a non-star sling, and you'll be able to get the job done. Okay, another thing, you want to grab these early on. Again, they will come. They'll come further down along the line that you will need these, but the reason for this is you're grabbing 5 of these. That's a full stack of stone. Okay, so yeah, just thought I'd let you know guys, that's a full stack of stone there, so you may as well just grab it, so you don't have to craft it later on, as you may need it later on. So again, that'll be my recommendation to you guys as well. Okay, so we've already gotten this haven't we? Yes, we have. And if you want guys, at this point you can pretty much just clear everything else. I think we've gotten over all the harder enemies in zone. So got a spear, perfect, we'll take that with us as well. Alright, not able to take anything of this, but you may as well make advantage of this and just drink it all up. And we'll get some space happening, perfect. So yeah, on the outer, you'll mostly find frogs and boars, and then as you sort of move inwards, you're going to find your spiders and your elder boars as well. So let's just get this guy. Oop, no, come on. May as well swap over with that if I need it. Okay, perfect. So with that being said, we are nearly done, and he's gone even before he even gets to me. And that's it. As you can see, auto mode hit, and we can pretty much loot everything else. So we're not going to do that right now. We'll head back home. I think what we'll do as well is we'll do a double zone. We'll run over to the well, not the rocky spires today, but the rocky cliffs, and we'll investigate that as well. So I'm going to dump everything, and we'll definitely do that. All right, so bear with me guys. as we go along. While we're doing that, may as well upgrade this, and we've already pretty much got a full set of 1-star tier 2 armor. This guy, unfortunately, we still need one more script and we are good to go. Hand wraps we can study, fantastic, and I think that's pretty much everything that we can do at this point in time. These guys here at the moment, you're going to need leather, so you need a lot of animal fat and pelt to get the job done, and that will happen with the tannery as well. If you want to invest in that type of armor, up to you guys. Alright, so adventure, let's claim and claim. So be sure that you're claiming on this. This is all experience, guys, to boost you and get you quicker levels. But if you guys want to try and level up as quickly as possible, the best thing to do is upgrade all of your workstations that are available to you, and using the upgraded workstations, crafting items that require longer durations or harder to come by items that you need to craft first, and then put that back into your workstation, so things like that. So just bear that in mind, guys. Alright, for now I'm just going to drop everything into here because I definitely won't need these with me. Probably take that with me actually. Spear I will take with me, and I'll leave these guys there, and you know what, let's just drop these guys off for now. Okay, so we'll quickly run out and we'll head over to the rugged cliffs and we'll introduce you guys to that as well. Okay, so let's quickly run across. Now at this point I'm not going to jump into any sort of clan based missions or anything like that, guys. I'm sure you guys are aware of the clan missions and how they work. If you want to know more about that, flick over to my main channel as well, so at least that way you guys can see exactly what we're doing with the main series. Now if you guys are new, be sure that you guys are subscribed and notified with the notification bell so you don't miss out on any information or uploads of any type, whether it's this or my main series or any other games that I'm currently playing. Like and comment, guys, that'd be also appreciated. Okay, so with the rugged cliffs, a little bit different. We've got a couple of different enemies here to play with. So what I would normally recommend is, if you want to save on certain items, if you want to alternate with weapons, I definitely would recommend it as well, especially if you've got things like spiders that you need to contend with. Then you definitely want to sort of use the appropriate weapon for the appropriate enemy. So in the case of the spear, I'm probably going to use this for all the outer enemies, or along the edges of the map. So as you can see, you may have just noticed, oh here we go, there's a wolf. Now recommendation for that is you want to use your sling to take him down. Try and get every conceivable sneak attacks and things like that in between before he comes and he attacks you. So that there is probably a good, well, he's already been, okay, let's just, no, okay, well, he knows I'm there anyway. So this is what you don't want. You've got 2 on 1, they do 3 attack damage. If you didn't have any armor, then this could be a lot worse on you. So you can still utilize the sneak attacks as well, and I guess their only weaknesses is that you can actually get away from them quite quickly, especially if you've got footwear on that will carry you through. As you can see, by doing it properly, you guys can get away with it with a ranged weapon, and you can have less impact on getting attacked on. So with that being said, use your weapons appropriately. Okay, so let's quickly run. No, he's still going to come at me. Okay, so we just gotten away. So there is a level of distance that you can get away from them, and that basically prevents them from constantly hitting you. But in this case here, guys, I'm just going to keep going excuse me, and take them down as quickly as possible. So again, make sure you're claiming. And we will take care of this. We'll take care of this guy as well. Now you'll notice the hatch over here as well. Now this leads to tunnel access that gives you accessibility to other things as well. So there'll be a couple more chests down there, a couple more enemies for us to deal with. And I believe you actually get anthracite down there as well. So anthracite is an item, and then we've got the dark balls. So these are going to be the harder enemies for you to deal with in this zone, as opposed to like the spiders from the forest that we just dealt with just before. So we should buff this out and take him out perfect. Ideally, you'd want to use the sling. Okay, just make sure you guys are healing accordingly as well. Let's just sneak up. So that's another wolf. So good thing I use this guy first, as it's my strongest weapon as well. So yeah. Alright, so at this point guys, for me, I'm just going to use the raw meat of the wolf just to heal back up as much as I can. And I know I did run away from some of the wolves beforehand, and there's some berry bush trees that we can use to recoup some health and HP, so definitely get onto that as well if you didn't bring enough. Oil, another good thing as well, so you want to grab the oil as much as you can. It will be needed and required later on in game. So as I said guys, a lot of the things that you are finding, like even the wolf's fangs as well, you probably want to grab those because they are needed and used for things like crafting up armor and certain weaponry as well. I believe the bow is one of those weapons if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty, so at this point, well, there's the main chest of the map. We've got a golem as well. Let's just get our way over. Yeah, here comes that other elder boar. Oh, sorry, dark boar. See if I can get some bit of distance. Not going to. Now, he does the same attack as the hardened spear. Just going to quickly duck out real quickly. Now, don't be scared about doing this as well, guys. You want to make sure that you guys are surviving at the same time. So don't sort of, how shall I put it? Don't try to sort of go all lone hero on yourself there and try to take these guys down and, you know, obviously cycling into your inventory and trying to heal at the same time, because it's not going to work. Depending on what, you know, heals that you have, it may work, but, you know, for the most part, if all that you've got is berries and other basic heals, it's not going to work in your favor, especially when you're going up against a dark boar. Yeah, it's not going to be a fun time for you guys. Oop. So here comes a wolf. No, he's still going to come at me. And if you get worried, guys, always try and get yourself to an edge of the map, so at least this way you can heal on up. And if you need to duck out, you duck out. You just get out of there. So obviously the last thing you want to do is die and potentially lose items. You will be able to recover your dead body there by coming back to the zone, which is probably the best, one of the best features of this game, especially when you're starting out. In my opinion, where you can revisit, grab your stuff and continue on. At least this way you guys don't have to worry about losing your items. I know there are some other survival games out there that you do lose your inventory straight away, especially when the zone doesn't offer a cooldown of any description. So that's something that it's always good to keep in mind. With the heals that I'm using as well, I pretty much used up all that berry juice there, only because I had thirst and HP issues. So I used both of them up at the same time to get the maximum value. So if you're trying to do this, you know, as efficiently as possible, that'd be one of my recommendations on that as well. And quickly get these here. So as I said, when you get to these type of zones, there are some really nice loot that you can grab. For the most part, you know, especially in this zone here in particular, a little bit harder than the forest. So as I said, probably definitely recommended that you do get Oop, there goes my timer there, so we're pretty much out of time, but what I might end up doing is we'll quickly head down that hatch there, and I'll show you the tunnels real quick so you get a quick understanding and impression on that as well. Let's just grab that. And where was that dark ball? He was somewhere. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll quickly go down here, have a look at it, and we'll call it a video. So this is the pit cave. Once it loads through, hopefully it loads through. There we go. Okay, so excuse me guys, sorry. Alright, so from here, this zone, you're going to find young dungeon spiders. These guys are a little bit more on the defensive side, so they take a little bit more to dispose of. So try and use your sneak attacks to your advantage, so you spend less time killing them and save on a bit of durability as well at the same time. So still got a couple of golems down here as well. So for the most part, it's going to be those young spiders and the golems that you see here. Okay, and there's only a couple of chests here, so there's not too much for us to go through. So we'll quickly open this one, and there should be a main chest down here somewhere. Okay, so as I said guys, just keep grabbing the stuff here. So you've got some clay deposits as well. And we've got another golem up here. There we go. And we've got some frogs. So all the usual suspects. The dark frogs are not as bad. Probably the weaker enemies here. But it's good that if you clear yourself apart... Excuse me, sorry guys. God. So I'm not feeling well today, so I do apologise. Try and do the best I can here. Alright, so from what I was saying, try and clear yourself a path. So if you guys have to run and get out of here in an emergency situation, you know the path to take. So again, that's just basic ruling here. Just make sure that you've got that clear pathway before you have to run. Now, for this, I've got that sling that's nearly about to break. So as soon as that happens, I'll switch over to this real quickly, and that's why I sort of pocketed that at the start, and then utilize your heal as your secondary. But quickly, I'm just going to point your attention to these. These are your anthracite deposits. Now, we can't get these because you do need an iron pickaxe. So that's something that is definitely required, and you need to take that into consideration. You won't be able to get that anytime soon until you reach mid-level 30s, I believe. Now, you sort of want to jump out of this situation here if there's multiple spiders, especially because they'll just keep relentlessly attacking you. So not something that I would recommend that you go in and try and attack at all times, especially if there's multiples at the same time. But that's it. That's pretty much the pit cave here. So as I said, not much to sort of go on, to sort of look at. Let's just make sure that we've covered everywhere. So that was the one chest that we saw before. Don't know where the other chest is. Unless if they've... Oh no, there it is. There we go. So yeah, as I said, but these you only find these downstairs areas in the rugged cliffs, rocky spires. There you go. So there's some iron bar that we had mentioned before earlier on. Yeah, so rugged cliffs, rocky spires, chieftain stronghold, and I'm missing one more, the Raiders Hut. They're the zones that you're going to find that will have an underground sort of like secret room per se, and you can get some goodies down there as well. But that's going to go ahead and call it a day for this video, guys. I appreciate you stopping by, checking it out. As I said, guys, if you're new to this game, please make sure that you guys are subscribed and notified with the notification bell. Like and comment, guys. Let's get this up the recommended pages as well. Want a lot of people wanting to sort of jump onto these videos, checking it out, Hopefully you guys find some of this information useful and beneficial to your needs and how you can sort of conduct yourself when you're playing the game, and hopefully gives you a little bit more insight. All right guys, take it easy and I'll catch you next time.